We are Rogue Media Sports.
So today I have the opportunity to interview close friend and Baylor football player, outside linebacker. Make sure I didn't call you middle linebacker like I asked this morning. Garmin Randolph, how are we feeling today?
Good. I mean, it's just a regular. What today is Thursday?
A regular day. Okay, so obviously coming off of a pretty tough game last weekend, a little touchy. How are we feeling? What was your take on what you saw that needed to be better?
We're a really good team, and we just need everybody to get on the same page.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like you see there's so much talent there, have all the pieces, just a matter of putting them together, I think. I felt like, I don't know, just watching from the outside looking in, offense seems a little nervous, a little shaky, no? Is that what you see? I really don't.
I don't know. On one side of the ball, but
Right, so you see what you see. Overall, how are we feeling about this season?
Oh, this season?
This season.
Good. We feel good.
No,
we feel good. Like, we don't play 2 games under our belt. A real game start for real next week,
Absolutely.
But this is still an obstacle this week. So.
Yeah, just got to get through these preseason games. I actually thought Utah this weekend was a preseason, or was an in-season conference game.
But because we scheduled that before they
were
came
in
to
conference,
the Big 12,
yeah,
it doesn't count.
What do you think about all these new teams in conference?
The more
the merrier. What do you think about Texas and OU being out?
Bye.
Bye. That's how I feel about it
bye.
too. That's how I feel. How do we feel about the first game? Because you popped off first week, did really good.
I mean, the game over with.
Done. Don't even remember checked out for that.
I can't hold on to what I did that game.
Yeah.
Because it don't really matter anymore.
Just different every week. Yeah. Overall, what are we feeling about this weekend? Coming up, playing Air Force Saturday at 6:30. How are we feeling about that?
Excited. It's gonna be a real technically sound football game because they run a triple option. So you gotta be in your gap or the ball could go for 100 yards.
Absolutely. Yeah. So. Air Force, that'll be fun. Fun little game. Last time we played them, that was pretty rough and
cold.
It was bowl game, right?
Yeah, it was the Armed Forces Bowl.
Armed Forces Bowl
TCU.
At TCU. Yeah, that's also
the
not
coldest
fun.
bowl game.
Cold.
History,
So.
So.
I'm a big supporter, big fan. Couldn't be there. That one's a little too chilly. A little too chilly. And playing in TCU territory, that's not fun. Yeah. Who wants? No one wants to play in their rivalry. Not sure that TCU's a rivalry, but it's a private school, whatever. Yeah. Let's see. What I always ask, what are some pregame rituals / superstitions you have?
I won't say I really believe in superstitions, but pregame rituals, something I guess I do every game. Let's go all the way back to the night before the game. So I'm probably gonna eat some hot fries or some hot Cheetos.
I was just thinking about that.
And then morning time of the game, I'm gonna listen to some Chris Brown, some real slow R&B. I don't need to listen to all that other stuff until an hour before kickoff,
The hard rap.
Yeah. And then when I get to the facility or the stadium, that's when I turn that stuff on and get into that mode, yeah.
So do you obviously everyone likes playing in their home stadium, but do you like playing the away games, the scenery change and stuff?
I love it because it's really us against them.
Right.
They got everybody, fans, everything.
What was the atmosphere in Utah this past weekend?
A sea of red.
Yeah.
It was loud.
Absolutely.
Fans was talking smack.
Was it hot this
no,
game? It felt
good?
The
only difference was the little air was a little thinner.
Not so humid as Texas heat? No. Trying to think. Baylor, how has Baylor been for you overall? I know this is a hard question, on-spot question.
I got here in 2019, and a lot has changed at Baylor since then.
A whole new coach.
Coaching uniforms,
staff,
everything.
Uniforms, all that.
All I can say is it's been, I guess, how it's supposed to be. Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
So, I can't be mad at anything for happening. just happy I'm still here to enjoy the ride.
Coming from Georgia, big football state, huge. How do you feel about Texas? Like, do you like Texas?
Texas is dope. I mean, it's such a big state. Like, they got places for all types of people. You know?
Right, absolutely.
Since Texas is so big, I mean, the only downside in Texas is it's just hot all
heat.
the time.
Yeah, was that a big adjustment coming from Georgia?
Yeah. For sure.
Though it's pretty
Everybody
warm.
says it's warm in Georgia.
It's warm,
it's
but
not
it's not the same.
Not the same.
No, there's no heat like Texas.
It's just not the same.
I really didn't understand that. Like, before I got to college, people are like, no, the heat's not the same. I've grown up in Texas my whole life. I only know this heat, so I'm like, it's just crazy. Like, the heat is something else. But, okay, so this is your 6th year, obviously, you know, hoping to have a really good season because we want, you know, NFL, hopefully, after. Is that the end game? So tell me, like, the work ethic to getting to this point to get to the next step.
You gotta have a goldfish memory. You gotta be locked in all the time. Like, I mean, there's just no wiggle room for screw ups, I guess.
What's the standard that, you know, you have to be held to, or you have to hold yourself to, being a student athlete in general, Baylor athlete, you know, all the way around the standard of being a college athlete?
The standard is being a pro.
Being a pro.
I mean, that's all I can say is being a pro.
Yeah. Doing
what you're supposed to do when you need to do it. Sure. Don't complain, whine, you know, you're going to have to do it.
How does it feel, you know, being a 6th year, you and Jonesy being the oldest on the team? Like, do you feel like you have a standard to hold for the younger players too? Do you feel like there's a certain way you have to, you know, act and be to show these younger players, like, this is how it has to be to get to where you want to be?
Yes, I would agree with that. But if you know me, like, my personality isn't really like so like.
Yeah, like.
I'm a little more
goofy.
Yeah, so like, I would say we gotta be a lot more stern.
Right.
And like, you gotta do it like this, or you're not gonna get the results you want.
Do you ever get asked any questions from the younger players about, like, things since you've been here?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like advice and stuff?
Somewhat.
Okay, well, how about the single digit? 5. Whoa, that's a big deal. Yeah. That is a big deal.
Very
you know,
big deal.
Baylor traditions, it's being able to have a single digit. You are a leader, you know, you're a great athlete all the way around. So how does it feel to get to represent a single digit for Baylor?
Well, since the players voted too.
I didn't know that the players also voted.
Not just the coaches. So it's like good to see that the coaches don't think you're a leader like the players do.
Absolutely,
like your peers do. So
right, not just
it makes it even more special, I guess.
Right, not just the people who are telling you, coaching you all the time, but also peers, friends, teammates, all that has to feel good. What's your favorite? Sorry, I'm going in a circle. Favorite temperature to play in?
Favorite temperature to play in? 70s.
70s. Like 70s, like the best weather. You know, this week's gonna be hot. You know how hot it's gonna be on Saturday. Like 99.
But I don't think it will.
I don't think it'll get that hot, but it's gonna
I hope it is though, because they're not used to that. They're from Colorado.
Right. Yeah, that's gonna be rough. I didn't realize is in Colorado. I didn't realize that. What makes you passionate about playing football? Like, what makes you passionate in what you do playing football?
Well, the Lord blessed me with all these abilities to do this, so like, what, I'm gonna let it go to waste? And like, you can feed your family doing this. You can make generational wealth doing this. Like,
absolutely. That's what I was gonna ask you too. Like, who do you do this for? And then I was gonna get into NIL, but you know, all the way around, like, who do you do this for?
Me, my family, the people that could come after me.
Right.
You know, like, I don't want them to grow up not having something.
Absolutely.
When they could, when they can.
Children, all the things, all the generations, down, up, all the things. How do you feel about NIL overall? You know, there's pros and cons to it. I feel like there's a lot of good things.
There's good. There's a lot of good.
There's definitely bad in it, but
there's definitely bad in it.
I mean, do you enjoy NIL and do you think, you know?
It's cool. I like it. Shoot, I ain't against it.
I mean, who's against?
Like, there's some questionable like decisions as to like people getting paid and stuff.
Right,
like
and
that.
how much people.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it crazy that you have like college quarterbacks being paid $1 million?
Yeah.
Like, they're
Exactly.
being paid more than some people in the actual league.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think about too. Like, I was talking with someone the other day about how like there's college athletes having more followers than professional athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's insane. Like,
Exactly.
the whole college ball game has changed.
And like you gotta pay taxes on all that money too.
Yeah, that's
another
crazy.
thing.
That's crazy.
A lot of people
Even
probably don't realize that.
the NIL.
You gotta pay taxes on them.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And
if you're from a different state, you gotta pay wherever your ID is. Like since I'm from Georgia, I have to pay the state taxes there too.
Oh, you have to do both Texas and
unless
Texas
I change
and
mine,
Georgia?
get my ID changed.
Oh
So,
goodness, that's a
I
lot.
need to do
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, Baylor wasn't super big on the NIL as of last year even?
Yeah.
Like last year. This is all up and coming and new for Baylor. And you know, you've been here for 6 years. How have you seen it as good change, or do you feel like there's
good and bad?
Good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there comes like entitlement,
right,
things that come
absolutely.
with giving people money to do stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy, you know, being a freshman coming into college, being paid all this money, and you haven't even played a game yet. You know,
Exactly.
like that's where I see it, and it's like it gets twisted and all the things. Like you know, these upcoming freshmen being paid more than these players that have been in there for a really long time because, you know, the recruiting process is so crazy. Like recruiting,
especially with the transfer portal now.
Yeah, the transfer portal. That's a good thing to get into. What do you think about the transfer portal?
I think it's good for the teams, not good for high school recruits.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I agree.
Because, like, if you're not in the top, 1 through 10 in a recruiting class, like, they're going to come find somebody to replace the people
for
that
sure.
was there.
I think there needs to be some rules to it.
Yeah,
what do I know? But I think I think there needs to be some structure to it because I feel like
it's going to get out of hand. People get a full team off the...
I think it's crazy, like athletes have been to 4 different schools. Like, that's mind-blowing. And, like, maybe they've balled out all 4 schools, but, like...
If that was the case, why would they leave?
Exactly, you know, that was my thing. I also was going to ask you what your thoughts on, like, obviously the quarterback y'all played this past weekend is, like, 8th year? 7th, 8th year? Like, I don't know, that's kind of crazy.
Hey, but he got hurt. I think that's why he got another year. Yeah. He didn't play last year at all.
But, man, just being, I don't know.
He like people granddad out there.
Yeah, I just think at some point, like, we haven't made it. I mean, I don't know, injury, but, like, 7 years.
Well, he good. He not bad. So
he's not, I mean, clearly, it's not horrible. I mean, Baylor didn't do bad. I think Baylor just has to piece all the pieces together. Facts. Defense looked, obviously, defense, I feel like Baylor's defense is always, you know, very strong.
We didn't come out that fast, but once we put our feet in the ground.
I think also part of it, too, it's hard getting a new quarterback. I think the adjustment of just everyone, you know, putting it all together, it's not like, you know, you've had the same quarterback you've had past 3 years, practicing, you know, same thing every time. So I think that makes a big difference, is like having someone new come in and being able to try and put all the pieces together with that is definitely hard. But I think this week offense is going to show us another side, hopefully. I think also being in your home stadium just makes a big difference, and then the weather's gonna hopefully be nice. Maybe it won't get as hot as we think it is. But okay, so what are your top 5 priorities in life, being not only a college athlete but student athlete, but just football player, person in general, like all of that? What are
priorities?
Yeah, like top 5 priorities. I know that's a tricky question.
Yeah, it is. Top 5 priorities. Well, I mean, I'm still in college, so don't have that much to think about, I guess. But top priorities, hell. Ooh.
It's okay.
Top priorities.
School.
I mean, I've graduated already.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you, are you in grad school?
Yeah.
Kinda-ish.
I got to be eligible to play.
Okay, I didn't know. Yeah, you do have to be in grad school to play, don't you? Or you have to be in...
I have to be in a certain amount of hours.
Do we have all online classes? Oh, that's nice. That's so nice.
I haven't went on campus one time.
That's so nice.
But I mean, I guess I could say like school, you know. School. Shoot. Right now it's school and the field.
Yeah, Maine too.
That's the main two.
And your dog, Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson.
Tyson.
That's my dog.
Big old fur baby.
Facts.
That's a good boy. Yeah, I feel like that's really the gist of it. That's probably a hard question to answer.
Yeah, it's
really
a hard question to answer.
all you focus on is football and school, but family.
Yeah, but I mean, I only see them whenever we play home games.
Do they come to all the home games?
All the home games.
All the home games, that's nice. Do they drive out here or do they fly?
Drive.
It's a far drive, is it?
No, they move. They don't live in Georgia no more.
Oh, no, not in Georgia anymore.
They live in Alabama, so it's like 9 hours, something like that.
You're a big fan of Georgia?
I mean, I was, but
No.
not anymore.
Alabama. Wait, they live in Alabama now? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. Alabama and Georgia, right there,
Besides,
right?
It's like 3 hours from each other.
Were you going, like, growing up, did you go back and forth at all? Not really? No.
I'm not from Alabama. I'm from Georgia.
I'm from Georgia.
Yeah, I'm from Georgia. Shoot. I ain't going
Atlanta.
nowhere.
Remember, we used to give you a hard time.
I'm from Atlanta. Don't say that.
Hard time about where you're at in Georgia.
But we just got some people from the portal that's from Georgia, actually.
Really?
They play my position, 2 of them. Yeah.
For this upcoming season, I guess.
Right now.
Oh,
yeah.
right now.
Steve and
Oh,
Donut.
yeah.
They both
Transfer
from
from
Georgia.
Tech,
Yeah,
correct?
Tech, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Overall, Baylor, the school is different. There's a big Christian atmosphere. How do you think overall that has affected you as a person going to a school that's so surrounded by the Christian atmosphere, and then also being an athlete? Do you feel like your faith has grown? Like, how has it made you a better player and person?
I would say it has grown. I mean, we got to take Christian scriptures, Christian heritage. So,
all the things.
You're going to, learn about it. Even
Regardless, if you don't want to. Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I would say it definitely makes you a better person. And it makes you, realize a lot of things and not think too deeply that things are your own fault. Like, everything happens for a reason.
Right.
Like, he makes everything happen
Right.
for a reason. So,
You were put here for a reason.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I would say it's good.
I know that was a big change for me too, coming from big public school. You're not allowed to talk about your faith, any of that, and then coming here, it's like, whoa, first day of class, first day on campus, you see people praying in class. Like, that was a huge adjustment for me, just because I had never been around that. I've always been faithful, religious, all the things, but I had never seen it in that sense. So that's one thing I love. I feel like it helps, being an athlete, just a student in general, being surrounded by the religious atmosphere, I feel like really helps. And, especially probably being an athlete, I feel like it plays a lot into it, because don't y'all have to do chapel for, the actual team, right, and stuff? Yeah, I think that's good, faith-based. I feel like that, it's a lot. And regardless if you want to or not, you chose Baylor for a reason, and that's you're gonna have to be around it regardless. So, what is it like, the image of being a college athlete or athlete in general? What's that's a crazy question, but
The image, it depends who's looking at you.
Just in general, the image of an athlete,
I'm just a college athlete. I mean, there's a lot of consumptions, I guess.
Yeah, for
or
sure.
making assumptions of
Staminas,
what they think we are.
Absolutely.
So it really, if you know me, then
right.
You can't put everybody in the same box. I mean,
Absolutely.
we're not all the same.
That's why, part of why I do this podcast, because people only see y'all as athletes, what they see on the field. Just literally as an athlete, not as another person just like the person sitting next to you. We're all the same.
It's not Garmin. It's Garmin, the football player.
It's exactly. It's never just who you are as a person. It's what you do on the field.
What can you do for me?
For me? Yeah. What can you do for me? And I feel like that's probably a really hard part about it, is just being, not being seen as a normal person. Things you mess up that the next person next to you messes up. Oh, well, it's bad way worse if you did it, because you're a college athlete, all the things, and so I feel like that's probably a hard thing to get.
Yeah, it doesn't help that I'm so tall.
Yeah, I know.
I can't like blend in or nothing.
No, you can't.
So,
it's always football or basketball.
Yeah.
I remember that time we were down in Fort Worth the weekend. Y'all had the bye weekend, and every single question was like, people harassing you. Are you a recruit?
No.
Are you a recruit? You play basketball here? And I'm like,
No.
you get asked more, do you play basketball than football? Yeah,
sure.
The height being 6'8". What is it like being 6'8"?
It ain't no different. The air is the same up there.
The air is the same.
Yes.
Well, it's a little hotter up there, no?
Technically, he rises, but it don't feel no hotter.
With you. Oh, yeah. Your height. First time I ever met you, I was like, probably the tallest person I ever met. Like, first tall person, and I was like, well, this is crazy. 6'8" is a whole nother.
I wasn't that tall when you met me, though. I wasn't that tall when
you weren't all the way 6'8". Oh,
Mm-hmm.
6'6", 6'7", my
6'6".
bad.
That's a couple inches, though.
No, but yeah,
like
that's still
a nice sturdy shoe.
Tall. Yeah, Odessa. First time you ever came
OD.
to Odessa.
That was a fun time.
Talked about in our interview last week about Gabe Hall calling us mugrats.
Gabe.
It's so funny. I'll never forget that time. Oh, it was so funny.
Good times.
Yeah, those are fun times. This is going on like 6th year friendship, so this is crazy.
It is crazy.
No, because you've been here for 6 years. It's probably like seventh year friendship.
For sure.
Which is crazy. You've grown a lot as a person.
Yeah, me too.
Become you've grown a lot on the field too. I feel like, what season do you feel like was like your hardest season, like injury? I mean, last year? Because I know last year was your injury, right?
Yeah, I had a sprained ankle, but I mean, when I got into college, I had broke my foot.
Oh, I remember. Actually, I remember that.
Yeah, so I mean, hell, I don't have injuries, but like last year was probably the hardest year, just in general, because a lot of stuff happened that year. So
just getting through it, yeah.
Yeah.
Made stronger for it, huh?
Facts.
So much stronger
this year
for
is
it.
gonna be great.
Yeah, and this year you can, kind of sit back and just let everything play out how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
This season, it's gonna be good. Just feel like this weekend, we're gonna see another team, a whole different team from Baylor. I think.
Yeah.
I think just last weekend. I mean, I think everyone knew it was probably gonna be a little bit tough. I feel like too when you're playing against someone who's been playing football for 7 years in college football, like they know the game, they already know. They know the game, that's
inside
like
and out.
Same thing just with you, like with you and Jonesy, y'all know the game, being sixth years, like played a lot of football. So favorite NFL team, not to go play for, just favorite NFL team in general. Like growing up, which team?
I mean, growing up, it would be the Falcons because I'm from Georgia.
The Falcons, is that your team now still? Like,
honestly, I don't really even watch NFL football that much, cause like
I was like that for a long time.
Sundays is recovery day.
Recovery day, yeah. What does your Sunday consist of after a day?
What's my Sunday consist of?
After a game on Saturday.
We gotta go do med check, and I get some food, and I go back home, and I won't leave
your place all day
until dinner. We gotta go check into dinner.
And just rot.
Honestly, yeah, just rot. Yeah.
Just rot. That's what I do.
I
do that on Sundays regardless, and I haven't had just played a game the next day, the day before. What does your body feel like the next day after playing a football game? Like a bus hit you?
Yeah, honestly, neck really, really sore every time. It's always sore.
Yeah.
Shoulders, neck,
all
bruises
things.
be coming out of nowhere. Like.
So on field, do you feel like there's like a lot of like going back and forth? Like, do you feel like you get like people talk?
No, I like to though.
You like to?
Yeah.
I wondered if you being so tall, if people say anything to you or not. No.
I don't really say much, but I'm gonna say something, so they gotta say something. Yeah.
Gotta talk back.
Yeah. Makes it more fun.
Yeah, I feel like it does. I feel like there's always that pregame. I don't know, what was it last year? Some of the players were messaging other players, like other players, like crazy stuff.
It's
yeah,
fun.
It's fun though. Yeah. It makes the hype. It's like what's the hype about? It's fun. But how do you manage being let alone an athlete, but a college athlete, a student athlete, the school part of it?
Time management.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've graduated, so It's not as hard
not as
now.
bad, but
like before I graduated, I definitely had to used to have agendas in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
Or middle school. I had to make some to write my assignments down and stuff.
Like a list, kind of note that in your brain.
I did.
I mean,
it helped a lot.
That's me too, and I don't even have to have time management because all I have at school. But I'm the same way. I'm like a queen of writing things down. I'm like, it's the only way to remember. But I mean, how were there times when it was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna get this work done because I'm so tired from football.
We'll be having stuff due the same day as a game.
That's crazy.
Saturday night or Sunday.
That's like a torture
Friday
thing.
Night.
They want to torture you.
Yeah, it feels like it.
It feels
for
like
real.
it. They want you to be in pain. But fun fact. What's a fun fact about you?
What's a fun fact?
I know it's such an on spot,
I can
put
bake.
on the spot. You can bake.
Yeah, I can bake.
I don't believe
Just give me
you.
the utensils. I can bake.
What's the
cakes,
best thing
whatever.
you can bake?
I just need my grandma her recipe book and I can make it.
You can.
Yes, I swear.
What's your favorite? What's the best thing you can bake?
Probably like a red velvet cake.
Really?
Yeah.
Noted.
Yes.
I didn't know
I
that.
can cook. I can cook.
You have like three forks in your whole apartment, so I don't know if I believe that.
It's alright. I ain't tripping.
No,
I mean, I can do it. Any fun facts, I can do whatever you need me to do.
You can do anything.
It depends.
Anything.
I just gotta
You
hear
lift the car up
If
on.
I got to, I probably could.
Nice.
If
No.
I got to, I could.
If you had to,
yeah.
you could.
Exactly.
That's the right mindset to have, right? That's the right mindset. Well, so I feel like we've covered pretty much, all the things.
Yeah, my whole life story.
Our whole life story. Sorry, that's why I do this, because, y'all don't get enough credit for who y'all are off the field. Y'all just get credit for being an athlete. So I feel like it's important for people to know your story, to know who you are. You're not just an athlete, you're a good person, man of your word, all the things. So I feel like that's funny. All the things. So I just, all in all, I want people to know who y'all are off the field, and just there's so much more to y'all than being an athlete.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on, and I'm so glad I got for the opportunity to do this with you.
Yeah.
So thank you.
We are Rogue Media Sports.